Before iShowSpeed became one of the loudest names on the internet, he was just a kid with too much energy for a normal room. The internet did not create his energy, it gave it a stage. Today, Speed is not famous because he belongs to a record label, a creator house, a sports team, or a traditional entertainment machine. Yes, he has people who help him now, but they work around his vision. They do not replace it. He is not being carried by a clique. He is not hiding inside of a group identity. He is not one member of a brand bigger than him. The brand is him. He built the brand. He built the center of it himself. One live stream, one reaction, one unfiltered moment at a time. A camera, a connection, and a personality too big to contain in a bedroom. So the question is not, why is he loud? The real question is, why did the world respond to it? Because when you look at Speed, you're not just looking at a streamer. You're looking at a new kind of entertainer. Not polished, not filtered, not created by a studio, not introduced to the world through some perfect rollout. He came up through reaction, emotion, chaos, humor, sports culture, travel, and live stream moments that felt like anything can happen at any second. That is why people watch. Because with Speed, the feeling is simple. Something is always about to happen. And in a world where so much content feels planned, edited, and safe, Speed became interesting because he felt alive. According to AstroTheme's listed birth data, Speed is an Aquarius sun with a Gemini moon. We are not here to tell you this is a scientific fact. Think of it as a symbolic lens. In astrology, the sun represents core identity, who you are at your center. The moon represents emotional instinct, how you feel, react, and process the world before you even think about it. So when we look at Speed through that lens, the chart starts telling a very specific story. Let's start with the sun. Aquarius is the son of the outsider who does not always realize they are an outsider because they are too busy building something new to care. Aquarius is originally without asking permission. It is independence that does not wait for invitation. It is not innovation. It is not internet culture. It is rebellion. It is humanitarian. It is global. Aquarius energy does not want to copy the crowd. It wants to create something that the crowd never seen before. And that is exactly what makes Speed's rise so interesting. He did not follow the traditional formula. He did not become famous by fitting neatly into an industry. He became famous by being fully, loudly, unapologetically himself. That is Aquarius. Aquarius does not explain itself first. It experiments first, and it becomes understandable later. At first, people saw chaos. They saw screaming, jokes, reactions, noise, and wild energy. But over time, people realized something else was happening. This was not just random. This was a new kind of performance, a new kind of celebrity, a new kind of connection. Speed did not wait for the room to understand him. He became the room. Now the moon. If Aquarius gave him the courage to be different, Gemini moon gave him the speed to connect. Gemini moon symbolically is a vast mind. Curiosity that never really turns off. Emotional restlessness. Not necessarily in a negative way, but in a sense of always needing movement, stimulation, conversation, or something new to react to. Gemini is communication, language, humor, quick wit, questions, jokes, reactions. People with this placement often process emotion out loud. They talk it out, laugh it out, yell it out, question it, perform it, then move to the next feeling before everyone else is even caught up. Watch how Speed moves through the world. The reactions come instantly. The jokes land before you even finish processing the moment. He picks up phrases in other languages like he's collecting them. He connects through sound, through movement, through humor, through trying. Even when he doesn't say something perfectly, the point is he's willing to reach. That is where his love of travel and culture starts to make sense. The trips overseas, the interest in meeting fans from different countries, the excitement around football, the attempts at different languages, the way he walks into different cultures with curiosity instead of fear. That is not random. That is his Aquarius sun dancing with his Gemini moon. Aquarius gives him the global humanitarian reach. Gemini gives him the language, humor, and curiosity to actually connect. Different audiences, different countries, different languages, different energy in every room. For some people, that would be overwhelming. But for Speed, that's fuel. Because his gift is not just being loud. His gift is making people feel like they're in the moment with him. Now, there is a part of the story most people skip because it is uncomfortable, and we want to handle it with care. There is a story discussed publicly by fans that tension at home, connected to the chaos and intensity of his early content, led to Speed living primarily with his father. It is easy to turn that into a simple story. Dreamer's son, difficult mother, rise to fame despite the home. But that is not fair, and it is not emotionally mature. Think about it from his mother's side for a second. A mother works all day, she comes home tired, she's trying to hold the household together, and he's upstairs, making all this noise, screaming, causing chaos, throwing fireworks, maybe even just risky behavior, all in the name of content that at the time may not even have been looked at as a real future yet. She was not watching a global superstar. She was watching her house get harder to live in. She could not have known what we know now. Almost nobody had done what Speed was about to do. There is no clear roadmap for a teenager screaming on live stream and turning that into worldwide fame. So when fans look back and judge her, they are judging her with information she did not have at the time. She was not necessarily rejecting his future. She may have just been trying to protect the peace of her home. And that matters, because loving a child means setting boundaries. Sometimes protecting a dream also means protecting the house around it. And here is a part worth sitting with. Sometimes a dream does not die just because one house cannot hold it. Sometimes it moves into a room with more space. Speed had that. An active father, a different environment, a place where energy could grow into whatever it was becoming. That is not just a conflict. That is a turning point. Here's what is strange and kind of beautiful. The exact traits that can overwhelm a household are often the exact traits that can build a career, if they find the right stage. Too loud for a living room? Perfect for a live stream chat with thousands of people watching. Too chaotic for a quiet house? Magnet for an audience bored of polished scripted content. Too emotional? Too unpredictable? Too unfiltered? That can be hard to live with in a home, but online, it can become unforgettable. Adults in his life may have seen a kid who was too much. The internet saw someone who was finally fully real. And this is where the full chart gets even more interesting. According to Astro Theme's listed birth data, iShowSpeed, born Darren Jason Watkins Jr., has an Aquarius sun, a Gemini moon, and a Leo rising. That matters because those three placements tell three different parts of his story. The sun is the identity, the moon is the emotional instinct, the rising sign is how a person enters the world, the energy people feel before they even know the full story. So if we break down Speed's big three, Aquarius sun is the original, the rebel, the outsider, the person who does not need to copy a formula because they're too busy becoming the formula. That explains the independence, the internet native energy, the way he can fully be himself without waiting for everyone to understand it first. Gemini moon is the emotional speed, the quick reactions, the jokes, the language, the curiosity, the mind that's always moving, always connecting, always reaching for the next thing. That explains why his content feels fast, why he can go from screaming to laughing, to asking questions, to connecting with someone from another country in the same breath. But then there's his Leo rising. A Leo rising adds the spotlight, the drama, the performance, the big presence, that feeling that when he walks into a room or turns the camera on, something is about to happen. Leo rising does not just want to exist. It wants to be seen. It wants to express. It wants to perform. It wants to turn life into a stage. So when you put those three together, the pattern is clear. Aquarius sun gave him permission to be different. The Gemini moon gave him the speed to connect. Leo rising gave him the presence to perform. That is a powerful combination for the internet age, because Speed is not just posting content. He is creating a live emotional experience. He's not just reacting to the world. He's making the world react back. And that's why people watched. Not because he was perfect, because he was alive. Not because he fit into a category, because he became his own category. He did not wait for Hollywood to discover him. He turned himself into the network. And while he may have a team behind the scenes now, the difference is this. His team supports the world he created. They are not the reason the world showed up. Speed is not clicked up in a traditional sense. He's not famous because he stands beside a bigger name. He is the name people come to see. Every fan with a phone became a camera operator. Every live stream chat became a writer's room. Every country he visited became a new set. Every clip shared over and over and over again became part of a production system no studio could fully control. Speed's story isn't just about fame. It is about how a child's emotional wiring can look like a problem before the world understands its purpose. The same energy that may have felt too loud in one house became magnetic to millions of people. The same restlessness that may have looked hard to manage became movement. The same curiosity became connection. The same need to express became performance. And that is the deeper AstroMental lesson. Some children are not easy to understand because they are not built for the room they are born into. Some children are loud because their spirit is searching for space. Some children are restless because their mind is trying to find the world. Some children seem dramatic because they are natural performers before anyone has given them a stage. No, that does not mean every behavior is okay. It does not mean every boundary should disappear. But it does mean we should be careful before we call a child too much, because sometimes too much is just untapped purpose. Sometimes too loud becomes influence. Sometimes too restless becomes global movement. Sometimes too different becomes the reason people remember you. And with speed, the room was never big enough. The house was never big enough. The city wasn't big enough. Eventually, the only room big enough for that energy was the world. Some people are not meant to fit in a room. Some people are meant to become the room. And for iShowSpeed, the room became the world. This is before the Fae and Moon sign stories. And this is why AstroMental studies the emotional blueprint behind who people become. Follow AstroMental for more.